Hey friends, and Happy New Year. Happy 2025. I hope that you had an amazing and magical holiday season and that you are having a beautiful and excellent start to your new year. Today, I wanted to start the new year off, kick the new year off by talking about some of the new books that I acquired in December through gifts that I got for Christmas, as well as me just utilizing gift cards and Christmas money. And yeah, let's jump into it. So first up is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I saw this special edition and I had to have it. Now, I haven't read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but I am a huge Taylor Jenkins Reid fan. I have not had a book that's below 4 stars of hers that I've read. I've enjoyed all of her books so far, and I am absolutely positive that I'm going to have an amazing time when I read this book. And when I saw this edition, it is so breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, look at those edges and just the inside, like the detail. I thought that this was so stunningly beautiful, and I had to have it. So acquired it, I did. The next book that I kind of got on a whim while I was Christmas shopping is Lights Out by Navessa Allen. So I have seen the hype for this book, the popularity of this book. It has been everywhere on the web, on social media. And I don't know, I'm a sucker. So I want to see how I feel about this book because everyone has been enjoying it. They say it's been a wild, wacky, fun time, and I want to have a wild, wacky, fun time as well. So I'm looking forward to reading this book. I don't really know the premise or that much of what it is about. I know that it's considered to be a dark romance, and that's a new genre that I haven't really read that much from before. But I am embracing, diversifying my reading experience in 2025. So I am looking forward to giving this a go and seeing how I like it. The next book that I got was actually a Secret Santa gift that I got for my coworker at work. And it's something that I have requested on my Secret Santa list. And that is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. And this edition, again, it's so stunning. It's so beautiful. Those edges, I mean, gorgeous. Just look at that. I don't know, I just thought this was a stunning edition. Even though I haven't read this book, I just thought it was just so gorgeous and that I wanted to add it to my shelf. It's beautiful, and I'm looking forward to reading this book and just diving into this world, seeing what it's about, and having a silly goofy time. The next special edition book that I got for Christmas for my husband is If You Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. And I've read this book before. I loved it. It was such an emotional, heartfelt, gut-wrenching kind of love story, and I really, really enjoyed it. And when I saw this edition, I thought that it was stunning. I thought that it was beautiful. I thought that everything about it, was just flippin' gorgeous. And I had to have it, so I added it to my Christmas list. I mean, just look at that. Oh, so unique, and it even has like the little bookmark ribbon. So unique, so gorgeous, so beautiful. I'm definitely gonna have to reread it again. I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna reread this on Valentine's Day, or not Valentine's Day, but like during February, because Valentine's is coming that day. And this looks like the perfect book to read during Valentine's, even though it's a little bittersweet, a little melancholy. So excited to have added this to my collection. The next book that I got is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. I have seen the hype for this book as well, and I just really believe that this is going to be a very interesting story about the dynamics of the relationships between sisters and just the different things that they are going through and experiencing as they just navigate life. And I just think this was going to be a very gut-wrenching, heart-wrenching, emotional story about familial relationships. And you know, if you know me, you know that I love stories like that. I just love them and I enjoy them. And the greatest thing about this book is I didn't realize when I purchased it that it was a signed edition. So yeah, I don't know. I've been looking out with books and I'm just really excited about this. I'm feeling that I'm gonna have a really good reading experience with this, and I'm excited and I can't wait to read it. The next book that I got is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandra Dumas. This is a classic that I read I read an abridged version when I was younger. I have never read like the full behemoth that is this book, but I definitely want to read this book sometime this year because I've always been intrigued and interested in this story of just, you know, somebody who is living their life, they get wronged, and then they set on this path towards revenge and getting the people that have wronged him back. And I don't know, it's such an epic story of like revenge and retribution. And I really cannot wait to read this book and read this story. And another classic that I got is Persuasion by Jane Austen. Again, I just really want to diversify my reading this year in 2025, and I want to read more classics and more politics and sci-fi and just other genres that I don't typically read from a lot, since I gravitate naturally towards fantasy and mystery thrillers and lit fic. I really want to be intentional about reading from other genres and just kind of, you know, encompassing all of the options that there is to enjoy when it comes to reading. So I picked up Persuasion by Jane Austen because I've never read Jane Austen before, and I definitely want to give her work a try and see how I like it. Another book that I picked up is Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica, and I love her work. I am a Mary Kubica fan and I want to read more and more of her work, and I saw this and I was anxious to add it to my collection. And yeah, she's just so amazing with what she does with domestic thrillers. She just delivers in this way that I really enjoy and I really appreciate. So I'm looking forward to reading this. This is a prolific piece of literature that I think it is so important to read, especially as we will be approaching Black History Month coming up soon. And I am definitely excited about owning this, and also about reading this and diving into the story. And yeah, so thrilled to have this as part of my collection when it comes to classics. So looking forward to reading this. Also, I decided to get James by Percival Everett, as this is Barnes & Noble's book of the year. And I have heard nothing but good things about this book and how it is just a beautiful story, and I'm looking forward to reading this book as well. I do want to make an effort to read this during Black History Month as a way to celebrate Black History Month, and I think this would be the perfect time to dive into a book like this. The next book I purchased, which is another beautiful, gorgeous edition, is A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang, and I read this book this past December. And I was just blown away by the story. I thought that it was so tragic, so beautiful, so emotional, and just so like heart-wrenching. I loved the political intrigue that was present in this novel, and I loved our main character. I thought that she was this fierce yet emotional and dynamic and human person. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed the layers and the mystery and the subterfuge that was contained in this story. And I really loved it. And it was a library book, and I knew that I had to own it, and I immediately rushed out to buy it because not only is it an amazingly compelling story, but it is such a beautiful book. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. And look at these edges. Oh, I just thought it was so beautiful and I had to have it. So I immediately scooped it up when I saw it at Barnes & Noble and that it was 50% off. And yeah, added it to my collection. The next book that I got is Amanda Gorman's Call Us What We Carry. I have not had the pleasure of enjoying and experiencing Amanda Gorman's poetry. And I'm looking forward to experiencing her work because I can only imagine how beautiful it's gonna be. And I'm highly anticipating reading this book. This is something else that I will be featuring or reading during February for Black History Month, and I'm super excited to be reading and enjoying her works finally. The next book I got is from Riley Sager, and that is Middle of the Night. This was his 2023 release. It was released sometime in October, I do believe. And I don't know, I like Riley Sager. He is he's a fairly good author. I don't love all of his books, but for the most part, I can get with the majority of his books. And while this one is kind of, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews where people aren't really vibing with this book and they're not really liking it. I don't know where I'll fall on that spectrum, but I'm excited to find out and I'm looking forward to reading this book. Next up we have Tomi Adeyemi's Children of Blood and Bone. I have seen nothing but amazing things about this series and I think that this cover is stunning. I am really enjoying and embracing the diversity that is now being found in fantasy, especially in young adult fantasy. Being able to see Black and brown people that look like me being represented in these fantastical works. It's just such a great time to be alive. And I'm excited to dive into this series. This is something else that I will be exploring and reading more of coming up in February for Black History Month. So yeah, I'm really excited about starting this series. Next up, I got The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer. I saw this in Half Price Books, and as a person who likes Stephanie Meyer, I guess you could say, I really enjoyed the Twilight series. I enjoyed the host that was by her. I hadn't really heard of this, so when I saw it, my interest was piqued, and I was just, yeah, I really want to give this a try, give this a go and read this at some point or other in the coming year. So yeah, we have The Chemist. I don't really know what this is about. So we'll just find out. We'll find out when the time comes. And the last book that I got in December was A.J. Finn's The Woman in the Window. Now I have read this book before, but I lent it out and I never got it back, and I needed to add this back to my collection because I did really enjoy this book. And yeah, so I saw this beautiful copy of it in Half Price Books, and it just looked very pristine and in really good condition, and I was like, say less, and I grabbed it. So happy to have this book back in my collection once again where it belongs. So those are all the books that I purchased, received, or was gifted in December. I'm really excited about adding these books to my collection and looking forward to reading them and diving into these worlds sometime soon, because my TBR is a little ridiculous and it's a little bit out of control. My cart is about to explode, but I'm just so grateful to have so many good books at my disposal and looking forward to diving into them. So that is all for this video. Again, happy 2025. Look forward to seeing some more of you, spending more time with you, and I will be chatting with you in another video fairly soon. Bye!